So you're looking at a wireless Go microphone system from a well-known microphone manufacturer, and I just wanted to show you the actual fault that I'm actually having, and that is when you turn the units on, you get nothing from the receiver. The onboard microphone doesn't work, and this is basically because the connection inside isn't returning. And I know this because I've worked out how to open this, and I've worked out how to fix it. So my fix, or how I opened it and fixed it, or at least have determined what the cause of the problem is to stick a pry bar or a spudger in this gap here and apply pressure, twist and then gently move around, because you are fighting a glue, so there is like a gluey compound there. Interestingly, it gives us access to the battery, so it does mean that going forward the batteries are actually probably changeable in these. At that point I stopped using a metal pry tool and I moved to a plastic pry tool, because I didn't want to apply too much pressure on the plastic, and so I shifted this up about here, because there's a plastic post that goes through the circuit board at that point, and then I simply applied gentle rocking pressure around the outside. Obviously when I opened mine the first time, it was a lot harder to open than I have just demonstrated now. The next thing that I did, I then made a mistake, because this whole piece of rubber here, this gasket that acts as an isolator to actually isolate things from the noise, including the microphone, I lifted up this bit and broke the link that links to the actual microphone. But that's okay, because I gained access to the bit that I wanted to gain access to. So now that I'm inside it, I located the problem. Here you have a standard TRS socket, and it's got what I think is Captain tape on it. There's some kind of sticky tape that's been placed on that. And when I squeeze in the tip connector, suddenly the internal microphone works. And that makes me think that what's happening is that the internal tip, or the tip of the socket, isn't returning to its connection and making the bypass that it actually should do to allow the internal mic to work, because once I remove it, it stops working. And I think it's the tape. Somebody has stuck tape onto this socket. So there are two fixes that I'm going to try. The first fix, I'm going to remove the tape and see if the connector then naturally returns to a closed condition, which then will allow the microphone, the internal microphone, to work, as well as the external microphone. And if that isn't it, I'm going to assume that the socket is broken, and then I'm going to change the socket. But I'd be happy just to get the internal mic working, so I could even just bypass it to make it actually work. Because part of the selling point of this is the onboard microphone more than actually the ability to plug in lav mics. Obviously it would be nice to have both, but that's my quick and dirty explanation as to what the problem actually here is, and more importantly how to fix it going forward, and what the design problem is here really, that this manufacturer has made. Thank you very much for your interest.